Hello, my fellow creatives. My name is Brian, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Juxt. We are on a mission to help empower creatives and help them sustainably do what they love, as well as encourage others to pursue their passions. In the celebration of the app launching in the next upcoming months, we are launching this series to interview creators around us to hear the story, what got them started, and what fuels their passion for whatever their industry is. If you enjoy this series, please drop us a like, subscribe, as well as send us recommendations for who else we should get to know. I hope you enjoy. Bye. What's up, Danny?
Hi.
So cool for you to join us and hang out with us and whatnot. I feel like I could go into a whole spiel of like how, like with our friendship, like how cool you've been and your past and whatnot. But for people that don't know you, what would be like an intro to Danny? Who are you?
Who am I?
Who are you?
I'm Danny.
Danny.
I don't know what else to say. I'm 27. I work in banking, and I have a lot of fish tanks.
And your handle is Dannisfishies?
Dannisfishies.
Dannisfishies. How did you even get to like Dannisfishies?
Well, I don't really call them my fish. I call them my fishies. Pretty much never call them fish. And I don't know. I just one day decided to start spamming photos of all my fish, and they're like, yeah, they're my fish, so it's my fishies.
And then, so do you prefer aquascaper or aquarist? Like, what's the...
So I feel like aquarist is everything aquarium related, and then aquascaping is more you are putting together a piece of art. Really, you're essentially landscaping underwater. You have an underwater garden. So for example, I've been an aquarist for a long time.
Yeah.
I've had fish on and off my whole life, but aquascaping is something that's come to me in the last year or two.
Really?
Since I discovered all of the different pages on Instagram, they really inspired me, so I started it on my own, and now here I am.
We've known each other for a while and whatnot, and it was like the most random thing. We're getting lunch and whatnot, and all of a sudden you told me like, hey, by the way, like I'm doing something on Instagram, whatever. So it was actually from seeing other people doing this on Instagram or online that then you started posting your own stuff.
Yeah, well, I just really wanted to get more information about specific fish that I was keeping at the time, and then I just discovered this whole new world on Instagram, and I got really excited about it, and I wanted to share my own work that I was creating at the time, so I created the page, and then it just spiraled out of control from there.
What kind of like different realms are there like within being an aquarist?
Within being an aquarist, I mean, you can just keep fish because you like them and you have a fish tank with maybe some gravel or plastic plants or whatever you find looks nice, but you're there for the fish. You just want some fish in your home. And then there's the aquascapers, which really try to create a scene out of nature or something beautiful, a piece of art that's very, very pleasing and aesthetic to look at the eye. And it can get very technical too. And then there's people that breed fish to sell or just because they really like it. There's all kinds of things, and even within each of those major categories, there's like billions of subcategories as well.
So we're just at Aqua Labs in San Jose and whatnot, and you had showed me the the different like trees and whatnot. You said the people had glued together.
Oh, the bonsai trees.
Is that like someone's own thing too? Is it like its own like realm, or is that just part of being like?
So that's more like an aquascaping thing. It's just we call it, so any kind of like not living item, like not a plant or not fish or water within a fish tank, we call it hardscape. So that would be your rocks and driftwood and stuff. So the bonsai trees are just like a really fancy hardscape that looks very, very cool underwater. And it helps you create a more a nature scene essentially, where you can maybe have like a tree with some moss all over the bonsai tree, and then like a lawn or something. So it's really just a neat little thing that you can put in your fish tank.
What was the one that like one of my favorite ones is like when the kind of landscape goes out of like the aquascape goes out of the water and whatnot. Yeah, what was that one called?
Paludarium.
And so is that like a pretty common would you ever attempt something like that?
I have a paludarium.
Oh, okay. You didn't say that before. That is so crazy.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's like, so the term is paludarium, but I mean, you can do a variety of different things with that, I mean, there's all kinds of crazy things. You can have a fish tank at the bottom and then a living wall coming out of it, or you can do a pond style tank where you've got a more shallow tank and then you build up and out of it. So it's kind of like a pond bank, which is similar to what I have done. So but the one you're referring to is a real paludarium. It's got rocks built all the way up, and it's got waterfalls and things.
That's absolutely, I mean, I think it's like the coolest thing. I mean, I guess in my head, and like, I don't know, maybe I'm assuming, but I feel like for a lot of people that don't understand the realm, it's like more than just, oh, this is like a little small hobbyist fish tank. There's like so many things you can do with it. So different like types of like plants and fish and things like that.
It's a rabbit's hole for sure. I mean, one of the cool things about it is you never stop learning. Ever. There's always something new.
And it's like, it's not even like it's a small niche. Like I feel like it's a niche, but I mean, you know, looking at your page, you have so many. Sometimes you have like 30 comments, 50 comments, and like over 1,000 likes from people. For one photo. Just like people going crazy over your photos and whatnot. So it's crazy seeing like how very alive this industry is.
I mean, people get really excited about the community, and people are very passionate about it. It's if you get it, you really get it, and it's, I don't know, you could just immediately connect with other people by just showing your fish tanks or seeing other people's fish tanks. I mean, I get so happy when I see all the different tanks. I'm like, that's a really cool one. Great job.
So like, when did it get to the point where it's like, oh man, I have 500 followers? Because I'm assuming you started off at like just 0, right? So so how does it go from 0 to 12,000? Like when did you start to like look at this and like, oh man, like this is kind of snowballing and it's getting big?
I don't know. It just, I mean, honestly, it just kind of happened. I started it because I wanted to share some pictures and spam about fish tank stuff and giveaways that you often see on Instagram without spamming my own personal page. And then from there, I just kind of wanted to see what it was all about. And I wanted to share my photos, see what people thought. And I guess people liked them, which also pushed me to do better and to keep moving it forward. And then somewhere along the line, I got really into Instagram, and I decided to really focus on growing my page and doing the best that I can, trying to put my best foot forward rather than just sharing whatever blurry fish picture I took that day. But I mean, I don't really have an explanation for it. It just happened. I mean, the response that I've gotten is really incredible. It's been really, really cool to see, and I've met so many really awesome people.
When you're doing this, I mean, and it's not like a positive or negative or whatnot, but like, were you realizing that you have like some momentum, and then you're like, oh, I'm going to try to do like different hacks and whatnot to grow your influence, or was it just like I think you got really into it?
I'd say like after 5,000 followers, I was like, okay, this page is starting to have a lot of momentum. I'm curious to see how far I can go with it. And I've been tossing around the idea back and forth of trying to monetize it a little bit, but I haven't gone there. But I figured if I keep growing it, it'll still give me the option. So maybe
got, like giveaways and whatnot, and like people will sponsor you. And
So I mean, I started to get really serious about it. I looked up, the best times of day to post, and what good hashtags there are or whatever. I mean, I'm not super educated on it, but I do a little bit here and there, and it's really helped push me forward.
Now you're like a creator with like a substantial following. Like, what does it feel now, like being in this realm and stuff, and like having this kind of following behind you?
It's interesting. I mean, honestly, it's a small part of my life. My life is so much more than just my Instagram or even just my fish tanks. But it's just a great outlet to share what I do, because not everybody gets it. People are like, you really have 5 fish tanks? You nerd, like, what plant is that? I bet you can name it. I'm like, I can. But I like it because I can connect with like-minded people, and it's nice.
So like previously, when we were at Aqualab in San Jose, you had mentioned it was kind of the first times you had been to a place as Dannisfishies. Like what was that like? That experience.
It was interesting. It was the first time since starting the page where I had to be out there in my own person representing my page and what I do, and it was awkward. It was great, but it was just an experience to see that part of my life, which is almost strictly online, flow into the real part of my life.
Yeah.
we were there physically, and
Right.
we met Kent, the owner, and he's like, "You're Danni." I'm like, "Yes, I am."
I'm glad that like Kent was awesome, like a good like people person as well. 'Cause, I mean, it was a nervous part for both of us, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, Kent was awesome. Everyone there was pretty awesome. Like I loved kind of like what you had kind of touched on with this, but you had said that you prefer being referenced as more of like a creator than an influencer.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I'm not on Instagram to influence anybody. I mean, I've gotten messages saying that I've inspired people, and I love that. I think it's so cool that people like my work enough to want to do something similar, that they've thought of me in their own work. But really, it's just my creative outlet that I've brought to Instagram to share with the people that are interested, and so that's how I see it. I'm just displaying what I do, and people can take it or leave it.
Yeah.
So I'm not there to be like, oh, you should buy this or you should do a tank this way. It's like, this is what I've done, and this is what I think looks beautiful.
For sure. You've always been like a powerhouse of a woman, like in every regard I've known you. You know, but like, so like, how is it like in this realm of like aquascaping or like being like online and social media? Like, how is it being like an awesome lady in this space?
Being a woman?
Yeah.
It's interesting, actually. Only 20-some% of my followers are women, and that is astounding to me. And so, being a woman in the industry, I see, just a lot of men all the time in their work and in their photos or whatever. And I'm happy to be a female face there, saying, "Hey, we're here too." And it's not just a man's hobby. It's for everyone. It's for people that are just interested in nature or interested in plants or fish or something.
Yeah.
And I hope that I can, I guess, inspire more women to be a part of it too. Yeah, I mean, it's just really interesting to me that there's such a big disparity there, and I really wish there wasn't.
Do you feel like the experience at the same time stuff is a little bit different, since a lot of your photos are of like like your work and whatnot?
Yeah. So I personally try to keep all my photos just aquarium related. I don't like to show my face that much. I tried it. I wasn't a big fan. And it's even weird that I'm doing this, but so I try to keep it really aquarium related. But the times where I have shown my face, it's been mainly met with the positive reception, but there's also been some disrespect there, just because I'm a woman. But I mean, I feel like that's every lady's problem on Instagram, and I'm sure it's a lot worse for the ladies that actually do show their face more. I mean, more power to them. It takes a lot of confidence in order to do that. But yeah, I mean, I wish we could show our faces more without having to deal with the creeps online and everything.
For sure. So you have your aquascapes. You've gone through, and how many have you had at one time? You're saying
5.
How does it even get to 5? Like,
it's a problem. It becomes an addiction. I mean, almost literally, it can be a problem. They call it multiple tank syndrome, or MTS for short.
It's already
where you get one and you like set it up and you're like, that's awesome. Now I really want to do another one.
It's like, what could you do this?
Because there's just so many different styles that you can do.
That's what I was thinking.
You can't just have one, right?
Like I got like this one car for this time, but I want to get like a off-road one.
Exactly.
And,
Like, I've got
flavors.
my commuter car. What about my like fancy weekend car?
Yeah.
Right?
Right. Where's my Thursday car?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with fish tanks. There's so many different styles that you're just like, I want to try them all.
Right.
Every tank I had was different.
Did you ever do so I think most of yours are freshwater. Did you ever do saltwater?
I've never done a saltwater tank. It is intimidating, to be honest, and probably a lot more expensive than freshwater, but I really have the itch to do it now.
Nice.
It's so beautiful. All the corals and all the fish are just on a different level, and I would love to try it. Probably fail miserably, but I mean, it would be really nice.
So what's like the different flavors on the horizon for you to try out then? Is that like the main one?
No, I mean, a lot of more of the same stuff. I feel like I know what my style of aquascaping is after spending a year or so exploring it, and so I would like to just refine my skills and keep practicing on what I've been doing and building on that. So there's definitely going to be some classic nature aquariums for those who know what that is.
What is classic nature?
So okay, in aquascaping there's a lot of different styles. There's like the Dutch aquascape, which is just this beautiful array of like mostly only plants, pretty much, but they're very neatly kept and curated so that it has a specific form. And then there's this other one that you would probably like. It's called Iwagumi, where it's a pretty blank slate with some prominent rocks and maybe one or two types of plants that cover the ground. And so it looks like a rolling hill with stones coming out of it. And then it's incredibly beautiful, and especially when you have a school of fish kind of swimming all around the rocks and everything. But it's also incredibly difficult to make look good.
Do you have like a preference between, you know, smaller tanks or larger tanks? Is there like a certain size you would go to before you're like, okay, like this is too big for me?
I like the smaller tanks. So they're called nano tanks. And I think technically a nano is 20 gallons or less, but don't quote me on that. And yeah, so I actually like 10 gallons or less. I think it's an easier space to work with. When it gets big, you have to really think about filling it up and think on a larger scale, and I'm just not that good at it. I'm better with smaller. So yeah, I mean, when I move, I'm planning on only doing nano tanks, just some small stuff, you know, like this, and just really trying to get the best that I can out of that instead of trying to dream big, because I'm not good with big.
And speaking of moving, you're moving.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm moving.
Where to?
I'm moving to Amsterdam, the Netherlands. I've never been there before.
Why are you leaving the beautiful California Bay Area?
I got a job there. I got a really, really awesome job. It's in banking, so basically similar to what I've been doing now, but just a level up. I'm really excited about it. I'm really excited about going to live somewhere new and experiencing different cultures.
That's a pretty sore subject, because how does it look like when you have all these aquariums now and then you're moving? Like, what does that process look like?
It's tragic. There's a lot of emotion. I mean, I've been slowly taking them all down, trying to sell off as much as I can, and it's just sad to have to create this thing. You've invested so much time and a lot of money in it too, and you've enjoyed it so much, and then to literally rip it apart and sell it for parts, it's just really sad. That's really, really, really sad.
I mean, is it like a bit of a challenge though to also like kind of start new and then have like a fresh approach to when you start, because I'm assuming you're gonna be building when you're over or creating. Okay, for sure. Most definitely.
I probably can't live without fish tanks now after discovering aquascaping. But yeah, so when I move, I'm definitely going to be setting up new tanks. And I'm actually really excited at the prospect of starting fresh. A lot of the current setups that I've had have just been kind of created by the seat of my pants and just like winging it really, and building based off of what I already had instead of starting completely new. So when I move, I want to do everything slowly and the right way, and really, really focus on doing some really good work.
That's awesome. So, did you already sell off everything, or like how does it look like? Or are you bringing something with you?
So I've sold off most of everything, but I still have a couple tanks that are just totally scrapped and sitting with water, and and it's a mess right now. But most everything is staying except for some supplies, and then I'm also bringing one of my fish over, hopefully if it works out, but only one out of the many.
on the plane.
On the plane, yeah.
And you have pets too, right?
So
I mean, your fish is part of being a pet, but
yeah. So here's how it's gonna go. I'm flying to Amsterdam from California by myself. Literally just me. I'm gonna have 2 massive luggage bags with clothes, a big crate with my 2 cats, and then a fish.
That's gonna be such a scene.
Yes.
Awesome.
It's gonna be a situation.
I know you can fly with cats and dogs and whatnot, but I mean a fish.
Apparently you can.
Yeah.
And so my favorite fish, I'm bringing him. He's my boy.
I have like the image in my head of like it was like Finding Nemo, like the crazy kid from the dentist having like a bag, like.
Oh my gosh!
I'm like, I'm assuming it's a more secure thing than that if you're transporting a fish.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know how much more secure though. I mean, he's definitely going to be bagged, but I'll probably put him in some kind of insulated box or bottle or something. And just be very, very careful with him. Awesome.
And then, like, as soon as you get off the plane, you're gonna go find a storage so you can, like, find some proper storage.
Something like that. Yeah.
That's so awesome. That's so awesome. Cool. Well, then, the last thing I want to touch on is like, so you're doing this thing. You obviously experience like a lot of like joy and fulfillment from getting to this space. You know, you yourself finding it from like Instagram and whatnot.
Yeah.
Like, what do you hope that other people will feel, or I guess like receive from like seeing your own work, and like your own like expression through being an aquarist?
I want them to enjoy my work as much as I do. I mean, it brings me so much serenity in my life to be able to build something and then to maintain a little slice of nature. And I just hope that when people see my images and videos that they feel the same calmness that I do, that they just enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's like sharing a painting that you're very proud of. You just want people to look at it and to feel things, I guess.
Yeah. Awesome. No, I definitely love that. I mean, like myself as an artist, I feel the exact same way. So cool. Well, thank you for like doing this. This has been pretty chill, pretty awesome. Like, thank you for being able to work with your schedule and to pop in and visit before you leave.
No, I had to pencil you in pretty hard.
I know, right? Yeah. She's a busy lady. Well, thank you very much.
Thank
it was
you,
a pleasure.
Brian.
All right. See you later.